This is PIX on Politics Daily with Dan Manarino.
Welcome to PIX on Politics Daily. I'm Henry Rosoff. Thanks for joining us. We here at PIX 11 are, of course, tracking this very serious incident involving a helicopter crashing into the Hudson, killing 6 people. And we're expecting a briefing from the NTSB at any moment. We will carry it online and on air. But in the meantime, the big political story that is sweeping New York City and the tri-state area continues to be policy concerns, disagreements around immigration, immigrants, and migrants, with the most notable development recently being the mayor authorizing ICE agents to once again have a presence on Rikers Island to expedite deportations of those accused of and convicted of crimes. To chop all of that up, along with some recent threats the president made about sanctuary cities, we're going to bring in Murad Awawdeh with the New York Immigration Coalition, the president and executive director. Murad, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So let's just get your top line reaction to the mayor's decision. He says, per se, it wasn't his decision. He kind of deputized his first deputy mayor, his new one, Randy Mastro, with greenlighting this, but he greenlit it. What does having ICE at Rikers effectively mean?
Well, first, thank you for having me. And second, when you were running the city of New York as the mayor, the buck stops with you. And the mayor can continue to try to point fingers elsewhere and trying to say that he did not authorize this, but he is the mayor. And Randy Maestro is his deputy mayor. So this was at the urging of the mayor to do, as he had communicated with the public when he was meeting with Tom Homan just a few weeks ago. This reeks of quid pro quo, as the AUSAs who have quit have said, that the mayor was, trying to negotiate, working with ICE and the federal government on mass deportation to get his charges dropped. His charges just got dropped, and then this executive order comes out. I don't think it's a coincidence. What this means for New Yorkers is that people who are literally, most people don't know this, but when you're on Rikers Island, you're either awaiting your hearing and your court date to fight your case in court, or you've been convicted and you are going to be transferred to another facility. So having ICE on Rikers is actually really detrimental to people's ability to access their due process, but also will become a clear violation of people's civil rights.
So I hear what I want to put on the record. The mayor has, of course, denied the allegation of a quid pro quo. But as you aptly point out, Judge Ho, in dismissing his case with prejudice, said this whole thing smacks of a deal. So that's sort of the background there for those listening and watching. So having ICE there, the mayor says, or Randy Mastro says, to be precise, the first deputy mayor, this won't deprive people of due process rights because this will still follow sanctuary city laws as he sees it, because this will only be coordinating on people who have been convicted. One, do you believe that's actually what will happen? And two, why is that problematic? If someone without status is convicted, isn't that the law that federal authorities can intervene at that point?
Well, the law is the law, but what is happening in this moment is actually not following the law. Our local laws already say that the city of New York will not collude with immigration and customs enforcement. And that's what is happening here. This is the piece that we are very concerned about. If someone is eligible to be transferred over to ICE, that is happening already. There is no need for ICE to be at Rikers Island. This is about going a bit further and trying to entrap more people in Donald Trump's dragnet of mass deportation to move them forward. We've already seen innocent people get caught up in these tactics that are happening by the Trump administration. And we've seen it happen even here in New York City, when someone has been, charged of a crime that then they weren't convicted of, but they were already in ICE's hands and put in deportation proceedings. This is not about just Rikers Island. This is about keeping our families together, keeping our communities whole, and making sure that we continue to have a society that looks out for one another.
And you transitioned very nicely for me there. I appreciate it, into sort of big picture Trump policy here. The president was out with this statement that he would pull all federal funding from sanctuary cities if they continue to be sanctuary cities, which, of course, New York City is going to continue to be a sanctuary city. I don't think that truly is the question here. It's $10 billion, though, in the city budget of more than $112 billion. How seriously should New York take this threat? Is it just a continuation of sort of past promises all the way back to the election of mass deportation? How do you view this threat from the Trump administration?
So, this is not a new threat by the Trump administration. He made the same exact threat when he was president the first time around. And cities have sued and won. We have this thing called the 10th Amendment that allows for states to create their own policies that are in alignment with what works for them and their state best. And that's what is going to continue to be the case. We can't just think that because Donald Trump makes a threat about something like this, that we have to fall for it. But we need fighters, and we need people who are going to stand up and fight back. And I'm not quite sure if the mayor will actually do that. So we look forward to the city council, the public advocate, and every other elected official in the city of New York to fight for New York City. Sanctuary policy is simply saying that we are going to make sure that everyone who calls our city home is safe. It is a public safety measure, so that if you feel that you are threatened or you're a victim of a crime, or if you need to go to the doctor, that you do so without the fear of the police or your doctor turning you over to Immigration and Customs Enforcement. That is all it is. It is not some sort of lawless land. That is not what sanctuary policy is. It simply is telling people you should feel comfortable, not live in the shadows. If you are a victim of a crime or witness the crime, step forward. We need your help on this. If you are sick, go to the hospital. The hospital won't turn you over. That is what that means. So Donald Trump continuing to threaten and try to create a smokescreen for his horrible economic policies, which are gutting people's 401ks, and I hope no one goes and looks at them now. But this is part and parcel. Donald Trump's magical gift is really pivoting. Whenever he messes up, he looks to turn everyone's direction and attention elsewhere.
Got it. And I think we'll have to leave it there. But I mean, I understand what you're saying here. And in fact, any law enforcement top official you speak with kind of in the city or in other major cities will say, we need the immigrant population to report when they are victims of a crime, become witnesses. That's sort of the other public safety aspect, which the president always likes to tie it to. But Murad, I thank you very much for taking the time with us. You have a great day.
Thank you, you too.
And that'll do it for this episode of PIX on Politics Daily. We look forward to joining you every weekday at this time. And of course, you can catch PIX on Politics with my colleague Dan Manarino at 6:30 this evening, Friday, and then it airs again on Sunday morning. We'll see you back here, same time, same place next week, and you have a great day.